Welcome to your mobility and stretch class. Today it's time to move and stretch out our body. So join me. All you need is your chair. And remember, I have our game plan on the floor, so I will be looking down. So let's get started. We're going to start first with our seated hip crossover with a side bend. So with sitting on our chair or sitting in our chair, we want to focus on bringing our left leg over, keeping the knee close to the ground as possible. From there, we're going to take our right hand, reach over to the left side of our body. Feel free to hold the chair and hold this for 15. And breathe. A good stretch to stretch out the lower back, and you should also feel your hips stretching out too. So let's jump into our next exercise or our next stretch. Our next stretch is a seated side bend. For this one, you are having good posture. So I want you to think about shoulders back, chest up, chin leveled. From there, we're going to take our left arm, grabbing the side of our chair with our right, and we're going to just reach over. Similar to our first one, without our lower body being involved, we're focusing on our back for 15 seconds. And breathe. All right, so shake it out. Going into our next stretch we have is a seated cat-cow with an arm reach. This one is similar to a floor cat-cow where you are on the floor on knees and hands and you're arching and rounding your back. Instead of using the floor, we're going to use the chair. So as we're sitting in the chair, I want you to focus on arching back, pushing your shoulders back, and think about really trying to bend at the lower back. And we're gonna bring our arms up towards the sky. We're gonna hold this for 15. And rest and breathe. Good job. Let's go into our next stretch. My back is feeling better. That's the thing I love about stretching. You get to work on those areas that are super tight. And when I say my back is tight today, it needs some TLC. So let's go into our next one. Our next one is a standing knee to chest hug. This is similar to marching in place or doing a high knee. Bring your knee to your chest. If you need to hold on to something, use the wall or even use a chair. Bring your knee up, holding for 15 seconds each leg. And breathe. Good job. So that tests your balance out. Did you notice you were a little shaky? So balance is a very good important part of fitness. So with that one, it does require some coordination. So let's go into our next stretch. Our next stretch we have is our standing glute stretch. So for this one, what I want you to focus on doing is having your feet together and pushing your hips back till you feel a stretch in the back part of your legs, which what we call is your hammies or your hamstrings. So we're pushing the hips back and we're keeping a flat back. So you see that almost like a letter L. And I'm reaching to my tippy toes and we're feeling that stretch for 15. and breathe. So let's go into our next stretch. Our next stretch we have is hip circles. This one is great for loosening up your hips. If you sit, maybe you have an office job where you're sitting down all day, or maybe you work from home, or you just have a job where you're doing a lot of hard physical labor. These muscles here are going to get super tight. And if they get tight, it can also strain our back. So we don't want that. So let's stretch it out. With our hip circles, we're focusing on bringing our knees to our chest. So we're right through here and bringing the knee out like a sumo stance. You can alternate each leg for 15. Feel free to hold on to something if you need it. And breathe and rest. Good job. Shake it out. Let's get ready to go into our next stretch. Our next stretch we have is a standing chair assisted hamstring stretch. So all you need is your chair for this one. You're going to prop your foot up, putting pressure on your heels, reaching to your toes. So this is our movement here. Back staying flat as you can, extending forward and hold for 15. Now that feels really good. So if you felt a stretch in the back part of your legs, you knew you were doing that stretch correctly. Those are our hamstrings once again. So let's go into our next stretch. Our next stretch we have is a chair supported back bend. So with this movement, if you have a chair with a backrest, you can reach back to that backrest and arch your back. If not, if you're on a stool like I am, I'm going to place my hands on the back part of the chair and I'm going to actually pull against the chair, right? And I'm arching my back. We're going to focus on a 15-second stretch. Are you ready? And go. And breathe. Good job. That's a great one for the lower back and also the neck too as you lean back. Now let's go into our next exercise, a standing hip shift. So we're on our feet. Spread your feet to straddle position, shifting your body weight to each side for 15 seconds. And breathe. So that one got your legs warmed up, so you might have felt a little burn in your hips and your thighs, because that is one of our lower body exercises on our training days, right? So let's go into our next movement. Our next stretch we have is a relaxation stretch. For this one, you're sitting in your chair and you're reaching towards your toes. Keep your back as flat as you possibly can. Slide to the edge of your chair and hold for 15. and breathe. So that is your stretch and mobility class. I hope you feel better after that. I'll see you on the next video. Bye.